Excuses are lies that we tell ourselves to avoid responsibility. In this life, it is easy to produce excuses for why we couldn't, we wouldn't, or we shouldn't. But as followers of Jesus, we need to overcome the excuses that many of us have for following after him. Our passage for today is Luke 9:57 through 62. In this passage, we will see three different instances where people want to follow Jesus, but they have excuses of why they can't. Starting in verse 57, it says, "As they were walking along the road, a man said to him, 'I will follow you wherever you go.' Jesus replied, 'Foxes have dens and birds have nests, but the Son of Man has no place to lay his head.' He said to another man, 'Follow me.' But he replied, 'Lord, let me first go and bury my father.' Jesus said to him, 'Let the dead bury their own dead, but you go and proclaim the kingdom of God.' Still another said, 'I will follow you, Lord, but let me first go back and say goodbye to my family.' Jesus replied, 'No one who puts his hand to the plow and looks back is fit for the service in the kingdom of God." In all three of these instances, these people who wanted to be his disciples or were called to be his disciples had excuses or reasons why they couldn't follow him. Now, some of them seem very small or trivial. If this man's father died, I think, why is it a big deal? Why is it such a big deal that he can't go back and bury his father? But what Jesus is showing here with these three instances where the gospel writer is putting it together is saying, we will all have excuses. How will you respond in the midst of your excuses? The reason why we don't see what the people's response were is because this is supposed to be a passage about how would we respond in those situations. Would we say, okay, Jesus, I'm willing to sacrifice my family. Okay, Jesus, I don't care if we don't have a home base. Okay, Jesus, I don't care if I lose everything. I am willing to follow you. Imagine Jesus coming up to you right now and asking you, will you follow me? What would be your response? Which brings us to our question. Am I making excuses for not following Jesus? We all have excuses, but disciples overcome the excuses and embrace the responsibility of following Jesus. Can't wait to see you tomorrow as we finish up our series for this week. God bless.